What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about the Celtics signing Lonnie Walker to a one-year deal. I know this is a Suns page, but we're just going to be kind of chatting about Lonnie Walker and kind of what impact he's going to make with the Celtics. Walker averaged 9.7 points per game, 2.2 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists per game, half a steal per game, and he did all that in 17.4 minutes per game on 42% shooting from the field, 38% from the three, and a 54% true shooting percentage, and a +/+4. Lonnie Walker is a great athlete, man. I'm actually shocked it took him this long to get signed. I believe he was a free agent for a minute now. I just posted a video a couple days ago talking about which targets the Phoenix Suns should go after, and Lonnie Walker was indeed my second option. But we're going to be circling back to my first guy here in a second here. But I mean, Lonnie Walker is a great addition to the Celtics, man. Their bench is already doing crazy things over there in Boston. I believe their bench stats are 29.3 points per game, and they had a ± of 1,562. As a bench unit, they shot 48.9% from the field and almost 40% from three. So shout out to the Celtics bench, man. They are a key reason why they won a championship and why they won so many games during the regular season, man. I don't think a lot of NBA fans really realize that you need those gritty, you need those core guys on the bench. You can't just have, you know, three guys like we did last year to just try and win games, you know, especially when guys are hurt. You need to rely on that bench unit, and that's something that Boston has done, man. They have a great bench unit, a great bench culture. They have guys like Sam Hauser, for example, and adding a guy like Sam or like Lonnie Walker here is a great addition. Truly, man. I wish the Suns would have signed Lonnie. It's kind of crazy that this actually kind of happened today, because it was kind of like going up on Twitter, like, why wasn't Lonnie Walker signed? And evidently enough, Boston Celtics went out and got themselves another great piece. I know Walker struggled with injuries and stuff like that. So, you know, shout out to Lonnie Walker and the Boston Celtics, man. I really do hope he does something good over there. But when they match up against Phoenix, I don't really care what Lonnie does. I honestly don't care if he plays. But shout out to Lonnie Walker, man. But one new target that I'm adding to my list here is Cedi Osman. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He spent the last two seasons possibly, or just last season with the San Antonio Spurs. Last season, Cedi Osman, he scored 6.8 points per game. He had a ± of a negative in 353, which is really bad, man. It was like the 14th worst ± in the league. And if you can compare that, Devin Booker had a ± of +316. So not looking too good there. Osman shot 37% from three, 46 from the field, and he had 3.1 attempts per game from three, and he made 1.2 attempts out of those three he made or shot during the games this year. Osman appeared in 72 games this season, so he only missed 10. Not too bad. Seems like a guy that sticks around. No, doesn't have a lot of injuries, and he had 17 minutes per game. So in those 17 minutes, kind of just take what you want there. Spurs weren't a good team at all. So just kind of take it with a grain of salt. The 17 minutes per game. I didn't really watch Cedi Osman. Actually, I can't really say I have, but things could change if he did come here to Phoenix. So we'll see what he does. Maybe the Suns go out there and, you know, go sign Cedi Osman, another shooter to bring off the bench. We can never have enough shooters. I know shooting was kind of a problem last year, it seemed like, for the Suns. You know, Josh Okogie is a guy that he's a great hustle guy. You go out there and get steals, get those second chance points, but he can't make a three to save his life, or at least that's how it was last season. So a guy like Cedi Osman, I don't know if he would play any crucial minutes on the Suns. He'd probably just be an end of the bench guy, but just another option to keep in mind when looking at the market and what the Phoenix Suns could do for what they can move with their money. So there's that option. Another option is to, you know, convert Jalen Bridges to a guaranteed one-year deal, man. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think Jalen Bridges is going to be a great role player in this league. I think he's going to do great things. I love what he did in the summer league this year, man. Really like Jalen Bridges. I think he could be an elite catch and shoot and 3-and-D guy. You never know. Some of these guys that are labeled as 3-and-Ds and just catch and shoot guys, they can come out and be more than that. So I'm not just going to limit Jalen Bridges and what his expectations can be. It's just what it is right now. Devin Booker was only supposed to be a catch and shoot guy. You know, pretty much a Klay Thompson. which in a way I guess Klay Thompson isn't really a bad comparison, but Booker was just going to be labeled as a catch and shoot guy coming out of college. And now look at him, man. 3-level scorer, can do it any way. He can do it. He can give you 50 to 60 on any given night. But yeah, shout out to Cedi Osman. Wouldn't mind him coming to the Valley, and Jalen Bridges I wouldn't mind getting converted to a fully guaranteed contract as well. But one guy I really, really want the Phoenix Suns to go and get. I wanted this guy on the team, I would say, for a minute now. I've never really voiced my opinion on this because I just never thought it would be a viable option, I guess, especially because he was in the Western Conference, and I believe they are in the same division as the Phoenix Suns, so I don't think a lot of in-division trades happen, or even rarely in the same conference. So yeah, Robert Covington is a guy that I've always kind of wanted on the Suns. He appeared in 26 games last year. Don't really know what happened there with injuries, I guess, but something to monitor, I guess, if the Suns were to get him. In those 26 games, though, he had 4.4 points per game. He averaged almost a steal and a half per game. He averaged half a block. From the field, he shot 43%. From three, he shot 34%. And his true shooting percentage was 58%. So not a bad deal at all if you go and get a guy like Robert Covington. He's a big body. By big body, I mean he's a lengthy defender type of guy. Another thing to note about Robert Covington and what he can contribute to the Suns. The Suns were the 6th highest team in steals per game this past season with 8.4, which kind of shocked me, actually. I didn't really know that. They averaged 8.4 steals per game, and if you add another guy that averages a steal and a half per game, the Suns could easily be a top 3 team when it comes to steals. But for blocks, on the other hand, the Suns were ranked 20th in blocks per game with 4.4. So I don't think that really moves the needle as far as the Suns ranking in blocks, but it's just a couple things to monitor when you go and get a guy like Robert Covington, his defensive presence, and then to being able to be a good 3-point shooter as well, catch and shoot, a nice 3-and-D guy. Definitely wouldn't mind that. So yeah, he's my number one option. But if I were to rank these 3 options, I would probably go Robert Covington, Jalen Bridges, and then Cedi Osman. But yeah, guys, that's the news for today. I haven't posted a video in what seems like kind of a minute now. I want to try to post weekly on the channel, put out some good basketball content. The basketball community is great, man. There's no limits to it. You can do anything with it. So yeah, thank you guys for the recent support. I think we just hit 170 subscribers on the channel, so I really appreciate it. I want to keep growing. I want to see what progress we make at the end of the season. So shout out to you guys. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and yeah, love you all. See you guys in the next one. Peace.
My goodness.